Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this live stream. Thank you everyone for joining. And today I'm going to give more details about the giveaway as promised. I'm going to open the chat, make sure that I can see what you're saying. And I will also start the music as well. Give me a second while I set that up. So at this point you should be able to hear the music. Camera is almost ready to go, so we'll start the live stream very soon. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the giveaway. So I will be giving away all of these Lego sets depending on the subscriber count that we get. So essentially starting from 1.4k, which we've already reached. So I will certainly be giving away this polybag as long as the sub count does not go down. Hopefully it does not. Okay, I made a typo here, so just ignore this. Or actually, you know what? Let me give this away as well. I will give away both of these sets. This is basically a copy-paste from my January giveaway, but I made a mistake here. But why not? Let me give away these two sets for sure, as long as the sub count does not go under 1.4k. And here's where things start to get interesting. If we reach 1.5k by the end of the month, by the end of the month of May 2026, I will be giving away one of these sets. If we reach 2k, then I'll be giving away these three sets, plus this other set right here. So basically, if we reach 1 million subscribers by the end of the month of May 2026, anywhere on Earth, then I will be giving away all of these sets entirely for free. As long as I'm able to ship the sets to you, I will do that. Of course, it will be randomly selected, so there will be one winner for each set. And you can enter using two methods. The first method is the easiest. You just leave a chat message in this chat. You have to be subscribed to leave a chat message. And of course, you have to be over 18 to qualify for winning due to international regulations. The other thing you could do, if you miss the live stream, you're no longer able to chat in the live stream, you still have a chance to enter, especially if you're watching from a different time zone. You can make a valid post in the Versatile Fun Designs community. So just go to my community, put a valid post there, like a haul or a mock, custom creation, like minifigure collection, anything that's relevant to the channel. Most likely that will involve Lego in some capacity, or just something that's generally interesting, generally related to Versatile Fun Designs. So if there are any questions about the giveaway, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, let's move on. So let's go to okay. Yeah, my camera is now active. And just as a reminder, we're going to be starting from bag 3. Yesterday we built bag 11 first, just so we can look at the main figure and also build the stand. Here's the plaque, here's the stand, and we might find this useful to put the ship, like as it's being constructed, to put the stand there. Just gonna double check the lighting of this thing. Yeah, I can still make it a bit brighter by turning on this light right here. Yeah, then we built bags 1 and 2, which are this construction right here. I love the drum lacquered silver pieces. This is so amazing. It's so beautiful. You can see here, like, regular gray versus the drum lacquered silver is a big difference. And here's a dark gray also as a point of comparison. It's so shiny, it's so nice, it's so beautiful. There are some stickers that are supposed to be applied here, but I'm skipping the stickers for now. Maybe I'll apply them later, if I feel like it. but you know that I generally don't like stickers, so we'll see about that. So yeah, from this point on, we'll start from bag number 3. And again, if you're new here, please make sure to like and share the stream. It really helps out the channel. Alright, so let's start with bag number 3. And again, your comments and questions are welcome in the chat. Just keep things appropriate at all times, please. There might be kids watching. Kids are welcome to watch with parental approval. If you missed the unboxing of the set as well as my LEGO haul, you can check the replay of the live stream from last night. It is still available on YouTube at this time, and I plan to keep it publicly available. So you can always go and rewatch that after watching today's live stream if you're particularly curious about the unboxing experience. It's pretty much just a LEGO box with bags inside, nothing super special or unusual. Interesting color combinations here. Most of these are going to be hidden away. Final build. Perhaps these colors have some special meaning in the movie. Like this reminds me of like the Force Burner speeder, one of the giveaway prizes, because of, like I see here, red, orange, yellow. Could be a coincidence, or it could be a reference to that particular vehicle from LEGO Star Wars, which is different from the mainline canonical Star Wars. The Rebuild the Galaxy stuff from, I think it was last year or the year before. Or actually, there might have been 2 seasons of that. Here we're building what will eventually be like the attachments, the stuff that goes between the front and the rear of the ship. In other words, the core part of the ship. Luigi, I see that you're sending something in the chat, but I don't see what it is. I just see like a blank space. Again, please keep things clean, appropriate. I don't know, maybe it's a technical issue with the system, that I'm not sure. The fact that we're using tan and brown here, despite the fact that they're not needed, means that LEGO probably overproduced these colors. They probably made so many of them, they're like, oh, let's just shove them into the sets where it doesn't matter what color they are. I remember a few years ago they had like a bunch of those pastel colors here. It's interesting to see like what's the stuff that they don't need. For some reason this goes here. If I didn't tell you what this was, you would not guess that it's a Star Wars starship. You would probably guess it's like some building or mech or something like that. As always, I'll remove the extra pieces to make sure I don't use them accidentally. Not that many parts in this bag, so it wouldn't be as difficult as bags 1 and 2 from yesterday, especially bag 1. Bag 1 was very challenging. I just want to bring this up to show you in case you were not here yesterday. Look at this. There's Technic, there's stuff on multiple angles, there's like these hinge pieces. There's some studs on the side construction. This took a long time to figure out. Like, most of this was bag 1 and then do bag 2 right after. And bag 2 is pretty easy when you do it right after bag 1 because this is the same thing with mirrored. This is back to quote unquote normal difficulty. Here we have to count the number of holes very closely and make sure we don't make a mistake. Perhaps we'll do that after. Not really. You pretty much have to do this now-ish. Actually, we can use marker pieces, just pieces used to indicate position. If we do this on one side only, then we can get away with it. This now we know goes here. Actually, it goes all the way in, interestingly enough. Now we know that for sure. We're not guessing, assuming. I think at this point, since we're building bottom up, we can also attach this one. It's going to make everything so much more stable. We're going to be adding stuff on the outside, which we can always do. I believe this place is just going to be blank. We would need another one of these pieces, tan pieces, which we do not have. It's probably left empty at this point. This goes here. This goes here, and at that point the gap is completely covered. You'll never know that it's there. You can attach these pieces here. This thing is growing quite fast. It's quite sturdy. Of course, it's not done, but like there's enough reinforcement of plates here. Zero space tux. I think that works. Yeah, so it looks like there's like some online automatic moderation happening. Maybe it's stricter than before, or maybe the AI went crazy, I don't know. Try different kinds of messages. it looks like this is where we're going to attach this to the stand. It's way too early to do this, but essentially when we have the stand, we'll be able to, we'll be able to do this. It has to fit. This is essentially what this will look like. So if I want to, if it's convenient for me, I can like start building stuff without having to hold this, but at this point I don't think I need to do that yet. The angle here is not necessarily super great, but if I'm building stuff on the side, it might be useful. Step back. Corner. Wait, how does this work? This is fun. It's nice and wholesome. It's just putting plates on top of plates. It's mostly pretty simple. Even the Technic might look scary, but it's actually not that scary. We're just treating this as a brick. The only Technic pins we're inserting are these red ones here and here. It's not that bad. I love the way everything just fits together. There's lots and lots of plates on top of each other. Yeah, this is going to be like the cockpit for Mando, and this is the one for Grogu, I believe. Maybe not, depending on... It's not entirely clear, because this is going to be the rear, this is going to be the front. This is where Mando, so Grogu is going to be somewhere around here, I think. This is probably lots of reinforced plates, because a lot of tension and a lot of pressure is going to be here, because this is going to be right on the stand. I think that's... It's a computer illusion using black line text used by YouTubers for titles, videos. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, Luigi. Sorry about that. It might be that your message is being butchered by the AI. Black line text. Not sure what that means. I know it is a zero width space. I know what that is, but in any case, it would not be visible. But I'm not sure if you're just doing zero width spaces and nothing else, or zero width spaces plus a message. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done here. I have absolutely no idea where this goes, or even if it's supposed to be part of the build or not. This, I suppose, probably goes there. But for now, I'm not going to be using these pieces just because I've seen in the designer video that Mando actually cannot sit here using the default configuration. So I'm thinking if I leave out a bunch of pieces, you can probably get him to sit in here. Actually, we can try that right now. Put him all the way in. So to raise the arms, I wish they thought a little bit more about this. They could have just done some part substitutions, and now the cape might get a little bit in the way, but not a big deal. Yeah, it looks like he fits here. We're trying to fit him here. Yeah, it's just not going to work because of the arms, so I guess we can put this piece here. It's not going to hurt. And then, yeah, we could put him, let's say, here, for example. Here's what that would look like. As long as the cockpit fits over him like this and gives enough clearance, and maybe we can lean him back. Let's say, probably better to do this without the cape, and actually let me get my version of this figure without the cape. I already have another version of the figure, and while we're here, let's compare the printing and see if they give us the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same figure. This is the one from another set. I know this one is from the UCS The Cape, but pretty much the same figure. Same printing, same parts, etc. What about this guy? As Alec would say from Technology Connections, for the magic of buying two of them. This guy is like the jetpack. I really want to make this work. Or can I find another generic minifigure nearby? Ninjago figures. They're all wearing like capes and pauldrons and stuff like that. So just do it with this one. Let it sit all the way at the front. Don't really need to attach him, but yeah, just attach him and lean it back. It's going to be something like, as long as the cockpit fits over him like this, I think it will. That's good enough for me. I think that's doable. But what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to fit here with the cockpit? Windshield, sorry. I think he will fit when you remove all these pieces. You see we're removing 2 or 3 levels of plate. I think that makes a difference. Because like in the video, he almost fit. We shall see if that's true or not. But yeah, we'll just hold on to these pieces for potentially future use, and if I need to plug in a gap in some bag that's very complicated, I can use these pieces, although they're brown in color, which is not the best color for this ship. If they were gray, that would have been perfect. But yeah, I think we can wrap up bag 3, so I'll do the bag announcement. Turn off my camera and the music temporarily, say what bag 3 is all about, then come back. Bag 3 builds the main fuselage core of the Starship, including the seat, and I intentionally chose not to put the seat padding here yet, just to have a better chance of fitting the minifigure in here. And this will attach to the parts that we built in bags 1 and 2, like this. But I'm not sure I want to do that yet, because if we're going to be building more stuff here, I prefer not to have this stuff attached and constraining me. But it all depends on what we're going to do in the next bags. What do we do in bag 4 anyway? This away. Or doesn't seem to be too large. Looks like we're gonna do stuff that attaches to, yeah, it requires them to be attached. So yeah, let's just do that. And basically, they designed it in a way where you cannot get this wrong. But it might be a bit annoying to insert with all these Technic pins. Oh yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Can't even do it like on a surface. And this might require several attempts because every time we need to wear these pins down, essentially. They're brand new, fresh out of the factory. Not used yet, they're more prone to do this. This might look weird. It will look weird, but there's a reason why I'm doing this. So if you just insert and remove, insert and remove, and do this like 3 or 4 times, it will get better. Also, I'll try holding down here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was a bit awkward. You can see now, like, the footprint of this thing is not done, but you see it's quite large already. Maybe adding stuff to it with that. Extra piece, extra piece. Green as well. Could this be a reference to the Green Ninja? More likely a reference to a Star Wars character. Which one? What do you think? Could be Boba Fett, maybe. Boba Fett's starship was green and red, right? So we start by adding these plates to the underside. This will be here. So we're going to bring everything together. There's going to be more stuff that we attach to the underside, but I'll do that after, just to have like the benefit of the flat surface as much as possible. And you're going to have to think about how do I want to do this, especially when I remove my head from this area right here, so I want to be building up here. What I'll do is actually I'll bring the pieces over to me. Let's see the song. I'll work from one direction and go towards the other, essentially. We're not doing much here. Basically, we're doing work here, and on the bottom side of that. You see, like, this is not totally flat, but it's close enough. See, like, this thing is like bouncy, not super stable yet. I suppose that will come with further reinforcements. I'll be able to see it better on this side. This is fully pushed in. This is probably like the engine. Have some interesting greebling detail. I think that's what this is. If anyone knows otherwise, you can correct me in the chat. Definitely an interesting shape there. Reminds me of the Lego Icons cars. They often have like some motor details like that. To a lesser extent, Lego City also has some of these like detailed motors for their vehicles these days, and I hope they always keep doing that. Here's what that looks like. Bird's eye view, like a parallelogram type of shape. It's quite interesting. I've not seen something quite like this in LEGO before. I'm learning stuff that I was not expecting as I built this set. And that is ultimately one of my goals. Set. And now it's time to flip this over. I think we're done or almost done with the stuff at the top, so we can do the stuff at the bottom. And again, the wings. The fact that the wings keep moving like this bothers me a little bit. At the same time, like, it means I could just push this further away. I don't know, are they supposed to be adjustable like in the final model? Because in none of the advertisements did I see the wings being adjustable as a selling point. I'm starting to think that maybe it is a selling point. If anyone knows for sure, let me know in the chat. Perhaps we lock them in at this stage. Actually, I'll start with this one first, and then we'll figure out the other one. This goes here, and this one has friction. This one has no friction. This means that this is more difficult to rotate, this is easier to rotate, but still there's, I guess, some friction with the dark gray beam. These, I need a couple more of those pieces. I need 4 of these. Let me see 2. They're quite large pieces, so they can't just disappear. Or I'm totally not seeing things properly. Okay, now I see it's these pieces. Yeah, that makes more sense. Not super easy to find out what's going on. To look very closely. I do know that this goes here. Same as this. Actually, this one, let's wait for. Essentially, there's going to be something Can I attach this directly here? It looks like the answer is maybe yes. Feels a bit flimsy, but I think that's about right. And this will have to reinforce it. And with that, can I still move the wing? Oh, now the wing is fixed in place because of these. So essentially, the fact that we're going to lock this in is going to prevent the wing from moving. I wonder why they didn't just do that in bags 1 and 2. It's a mystery. I suppose I should add the pins first. Here also I should have the blue pin somewhere. There's a tan pin. I saw the blue pin somewhere, I believe. Pins have a habit of rolling away, going random directions. Turn up eventually, I think. Yeah, that goes there. Oh, I disconnected something. That doesn't feel too good. Basically, it's hard to show it on camera. Basically here, I feel like I disconnected something. Or it's just like this piece, when it rubs against this piece, it gives like a not so great feeling. Again, the build is not completed, so we shall not rush to judgment. I need one more of those like blue pins. One I usually complain about their color. Sometimes it's still in the bag. Not this time. And I know for sure I did not use it in the build anywhere. Yeah, we'll come back to that, I guess. Because we have other stuff to build in the meantime. This is going to be an interesting construction. All because LEGO does not want to create pieces with studs on one side and also the other. Or maybe this is done for stability or something. Pretty sure we don't need to do this. This is going to be massive overkill. Again, the dark orange plate leads me to believe that LEGO overproduced like these pieces in preparation for like buildings and stuff. And then they're like, oh, actually we don't need as many of these pieces. Let's put them in the UCS to get rid of them. this whole thing gets done. I think that pin might have fell on the floor, maybe. Can't be very far. I might just go get another one if I absolutely have to. Fairly common piece at the very least. Oh, there it is. Rid of the laptop. Okay, so there we go. Just while we have it in our hand. But I mean me. I like to include you guys in my thoughts. Like, we are building the set together. Me with your moral support. And if you're very, very generous, your support on Patreon as well. I'm not going to complain if you support me there. Yeah, this is what we have so far. Now the wings are not going to move. Now check this out. We're going to build the whole thing upside down, and you'll understand why in a moment. This has got to be a reference to something. Football, World Cup? You tell me. But yeah, essentially, we're going to connect this like this. Yeah, with the studs facing in these particular directions. And attach this whole thing here. Basically to have studs on both sides. It seems like a lot of pieces just to reverse the stud direction, but this is what LEGO is going for apparently. This thing gets attached right here. They're just these studs pointing upside down. Remember, the whole thing is flipped belly up at this point. Okay, let's announce back 4 and move on to back 5. Gonna pause my music and the webcam for this. Bag 4 joins. Bag 4 continues the build of the fuselage by fixing the wings in place with these pieces here, adding a few more pieces here and here with some interesting way to reverse the direction of the studs. We also build stuff on this side with this thing that looks to be like an engine or at least some mechanical component. So, bring in Mando. Yeah, this is becoming a bit more awkward. It's very front heavy at this point. I would not recommend holding it from here, but I'll try holding it from here. I'm starting to feel the weight of this thing. take a look at 5. Bag 5 is... Whoa. Bag 5 is tiny. The bag 5. Wonder why did they bother putting it in a second bag? I'm sure they have like their reasons, maybe technical reasons or design reasons, I'm not sure. Let's open bag 5. Interesting. Take a look. Some drum lacquered pieces, which is nice. We've seen this before in bags 1 and 2, but of course I'm not going to complain. I always want more of these. Everything else seems pretty standard. There's like these hinge pieces. Another drum lacquered piece. It looks like we'll be just adding stuff to the top here. I'll just bring these pieces closer to me, as per usual. I think maybe I should flip this around. Primarily on the other side. Yeah, like that. Of course, I always want to keep the minifigure in frame. Alright. There are some stickers in this bag, but as usual, I'll be skipping them. Actually, start with the drum lacquered pieces this time. This is what I'm wondering, is the stand going to help? Try the stand again. So I'll adjust the camera angle afterwards, but I know like it's very front heavy, so not sure if the stand will. Yeah, it's a bit too front heavy for the stand. What if I flip the stand the other way? I think that's even worse. Actually, no, it's holding itself decently well. Okay. Yeah, this thing is massive, so it's hard to give you a good visual while also letting me build. Thank you, Gets Oofy. Thanks for joining the live stream. Yeah, it's a pretty cool build. Okay. Drum lacquered. I wish LEGO would release a video explaining what do they mean exactly by drum lacquered? What's the drum? What's the lacquered? If people are not specialists, they don't know this stuff. And I'd like to get it straight from LEGO themselves. Like, how do they actually make these pieces? Why are they so expensive? Are they really that expensive? Inquisitive minds want to know. Some strange stuff is happening. So in this bag, we got a bunch of these pieces that we're going to attach, but then we have to attach stuff underneath them. It's not entirely clear what that is. At least not yet. There's a pattern that will be attached on the interior. Just do it now to get it out of the way. Get the pieces out of the way. This looks like some abstract art. In fact, it's the exact same thing, not mirrored on either side. Does this have any special significance for the show or some character? I don't know yet. But if you do know, if you watch the movie, some places they have the screening early. The general release, to my knowledge, has not happened yet. But some people have seen the movie already. Just don't spoil the ending, I guess. Major plot points or plot twists. I guess Mando is here. It's just you're going to make him face forward, face this way. It's a good thing about minifigures, you can pose them. Although I know the camera is going to focus more on the build, but that's fine. Hello, little Elbricks. Yes, I'm building this without the instructions, and yes, it's the actual set. This is bag 5. You can check the instructions if you want online. You will find that bag 5 contains essentially these pieces. Yes, I got the set yesterday from the LEGO store. It is the actual set. And here's the minifigure. And just to be fair, I built bag 11 first. I built this to start with just so I can have a stand, so that building the rest of the set is easier. I usually do this with sets that have a stand, like UCS sets or the Marvel Quinjet from last year. Okay, now I see what's going on. These pieces are attached at a slight angle. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Something is weird. Something weird is happening with the chat. Like, you sent me an English message, but it got translated again. It went from, like, you wrote okay in the chat, but I see it as all right, and I have to like hover over the translation thing to see the original message. The AI is not intelligent enough, I guess. Not quite intelligent. Just be very careful with this. All right. Behind this, we have two of these assemblies, and same from the other side, mirrored. And then we attach these pieces on top. And we angle it just ever so slightly. Like, you see the difference between this and this? It's so minimal. Yeah, the designer put a lot of effort into this, and I really respect that. Of course, the designer does not set the price of a set, so don't get mad at him for that. There is a sticker here to help ease the transition from the drum lacquered silver to the regular gray used for the rest of the ship, which is kind of accurate to the canon ship. So in universe, the ship is actually shinier from the front than the rest of the body. So there is an in-universe explanation for this. And this sticker, sticker sheet, yeah. This sticker and its mirror can help with that if you want to apply them. I said that for now I'm not applying the stickers. I want to see what it looks like without the stickers, and then maybe I'll apply them later. So with that mystery solved, we can move on to the rest. Essentially, we have these brackets. Here and the other place as well. here's what that looks like. And then we just insert it here. And we have like the slope pieces, 3 on each side. One, two, three. We're almost done with this bag. Here. Okay. There's still a bunch of pieces left. Where do they go? It's not obvious to me yet where they go, but I'm sure we'll find out. A bit more digging, a bit more thinking. Basically lots and lots of jumpers for the most part. Tons of jumpers actually. Yeah, like all these jumpers. We're not even done with the jumpers. Either I'm missing something or I made a very big mistake and I'll have to go fix that. There's also this plate, this tile and this plate. What's going on with bag 5? Okay, these are not attached correctly. I'll need to basically unattach and reattach all of them. Because essentially I made it such that these are like, these tiles are very close to these pieces here, but there should be like a half stud offset. So I have to basically move these out using those jumpers. Okay, so it's like a Control-Z type of operation. Try to get them all at once without breaking the rest of the ship. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Try to do it on the other side as well. It might be easier to just remove this one piece and get this out. Okay, close enough. Essentially, jumper, 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 jumper. Reminds me of the song as well. That's the only place where they fit. Still see more jumpers even after I use up all of these. There's still more jumpers to go. So they might be actually used elsewhere. Two jumpers left. Carefully. Looks like those jumpers also go here. This stud needs to actually be on top of the jumpers. Done. There we go. And this, I believe, goes here. We still have not used these pieces yet. Where do these go? Oh, these just go on top. This goes here. I'll use this with this piece. Because there's only one of it, it means it has to be like central. Most likely central. Actually, for whatever reason, it's not yet clear. This piece gets attached to the underside, but there's no such equivalent on the other side. I assume there's a good reason. But yeah, we've now figured out every single piece in this bag. And I'll show you the above as I do the bag announcement. Bag 5 continues the build of the core of the fuselage and starts adding stuff towards the top, including these pieces right here, these pieces here on either side, and using some jumpers to offset them a bit. This is like, I believe, an engine chamber or some other mechanical room related to the ship. And we also add these pieces here, and that's pretty much it for this bag. This bag is pretty small, and I found it useful to put the ship on the stand for this bag, as long as you make the ship point in the correct direction. If you put it the wrong. And I found it useful to use the stand for this building phase, as long as you put the ship in the correct direction. If you do it the other way around, it will tip over, so be careful with that. Back. What should we do now? Say it with me. Bag 6, 7. There's bag 6. Take a look at bag 6. What do we do in bag 6? Oh, we actually do a lot of stuff in bag 6. Let's get right to it, and I'll move the minifigure to, I guess, right here. He's going to observe from a safe distance. See all the colors like red, green, yellow, orange. Candy. Candy with an I. Here you go. Every single piece in the bag. And by the way, do not mix bag 6 with bag 9. If you're in a rush and you're not paying attention, you might make that mistake. But you'll find out very quickly that you have the wrong bag when none of the pieces match. I'll see if there's stuff that we can build independently before attaching it to the main build. Here are the pieces that we get in these bags, this bag. Strange colors here. These pieces are interesting. Usually used in medieval contexts. Here we have them like in pearl gray. Probably used as weapons of some sort. That's the only interesting piece that comes to mind. Let's do one more quick announcement. In bag 6, we'll also need to use one of these flexible tubes that do not come as part of any bag. Yeah, it just makes the video editing process much easier for me. So we'll just build, there's a bunch of sub-assemblies that we can put together first before attaching the main build, so I think I'll do that. The same thing mirrored. This is going to be something that's going to help attach some of the stuff on the underside, which is why I'm building it upside down. Ultimately, this is the correct direction for it. There we go. What next? We have like some independent pieces, I suppose. I suppose we can always do this in preparation. There's a bit of just regular studs on the top. Construction, basically bricks on top of bricks. We'll do that now. Pretty sure that these funky colors are not going to be visible in the final build. I hope not. Remember, these colors, they probably represent something. Yeah, these bar pieces with ball end, which are commonly referred to as microphone pieces, but they're not microphone pieces because there's a separate mold sometimes printed for minifigure microphones, but I suppose this is what people used to use before that became available. It's rare to see a 2x4 brick in Star Wars in general, especially in like an 18 plus set Ultimate Collector Series set. It's rare to see bricks like this. This is stuff that's gonna get attached as well. Are we done? I guess the next thing we can do is start building from the rearmost point and just start going towards the body, and eventually we connect the two, just to reduce the number of loose pieces as much as possible, within reason. That is going to be like the tip piece. Is this piece new? Or did it already exist? Oh, it's rubbery. Oh wait, it's dual molded. Like the seam is visible to me, like using my eyes, but on camera it's, I guess, less visible. But you can see like there's a difference between here and here, where this is like soft plastic. This is hard plastic. Yeah, you see like the difference in colors between the plastic here and here. Oh, it's pretty interesting. I'm guessing this is for child safety. They don't want people to hurt themselves with it, but I don't know if this was necessary for an 18 plus set. Maybe it was, depending on like the people ultimately end up displaying this. I guess you don't want to break your very expensive 18 plus set as an adult either. These new 1x4 cheese slope pieces are so nice. I'm using them in my awesome space tower. This is where we use these pieces. I believe this is an extra piece as well, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this is an interesting build. It gets long fairly quickly. I see that there's some level of asymmetry. And here we're gonna attach the flexible tube in an interesting way. So it's interesting to use it. It's interesting to see that they are taking advantage of the anti-studs here. And those hollow tubes, they're taking full advantage of them to attach these. The new piece from 2025. It's not as new as it used to be, but still relatively new. I have not seen like this part usage before, but it just makes sense. This goes here. This goes here. Oh, very long plates. I think this one's gonna go reinforce them. Last one. Let's double check. I believe this goes here. You see this, just this thing is like so long. Barely fits in frame. It's quite long in fact. This is camera piece. Now there's lots of interesting shaping here. We're not even done. It's just like the rearmost part. And some brackets. There's some slopes. Bunch of these pieces. Some of them are stickered in theory, but I apply stickers either later or never, as previously discussed. If you're new to the channel, you might know that I don't like stickers on Lego. Like, if it's just like one of those like sticker books that you get at the dollar store with like the stickers that you just put like in a notebook or something, I'm fine with those. I just don't like putting stickers on Lego. Ultimate Collector Series sets should not include stickers. Just makes no sense to me. Ultimate implies that it's like the best of the best. Like this is the very best that Lego has to offer. Actually, use the robot arms here to really hold on to the flexible tube securely with this place. Probably they tried that. Like they probably tried using these pieces here and it ended up failing, so like okay, let's reinforce it. We can actually attach this flexible tube, I believe, right now. Yeah, it does not need any other thing. Let's try attaching it, and hopefully this does not destroy what we already built. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. Robot arm. This one points like this. Yeah, this is respectable. The different grays make it look more realistic. Yeah, this is like the very tail end of the ship. And it's at this point that we have to start attaching things. It becomes difficult to do lots of work at this point. This goes here. Yeah, it's time to bring in the main model, attach what we already built to it, and then the remaining pieces we'll figure out as we go along. There's not that many of them. Ooh, these ones, the ball joints point towards the back, so this one would go this side. See, it's so large that even, you know, like the tail, it's already like, and I actually have to remove it off the stand for a moment because I have to attach stuff to the bottom. Specifically this. While I'm here, let me also do these ones. Of course, we need to do studs upside down. Like this, so that one goes on the other side. Like this. Same thing applies here with this one. There we go. Okay, another stud reversal. Here, actually, we also have some pieces that I'm guessing are going to be relevant later on. You probably attach stuff to them. Or maybe it's just lights. Who knows? Anything else we need to attach on the other side? Yes. Remember this whole thing that we built? The weird colors and stuff? That goes right around here. Now we can start to put it back on the stand. Like, yeah, we just have like the tail to go. Now, yeah, there's some tiles that can be put here. We'll do that now. I'll get to the other side when I get to it. I know that the same thing will happen on the other side. Now for the fun part. Got a rear that we've been building for a while. How does this attach here? I believe it's like this. And then basically we have this whole thing as the ship. We're not done, but like this thing looks very long. It's longer than the Natural History Museum. Oh, this is longer than I expected. I saw it at the Lego store, it didn't seem that big over there. Even the box was small, but there's some like length to it. Of course, it's not very thick right here. It's literally like just 3 bars at the narrowest point. So I don't want to exaggerate, but there's something there. It has a visual impact, let's say. We have a bit more stuff on the side, and then we're done with this bag. So over here, and then we'll flip. This whole thing will be attached to this stuff like this. I'm gonna have to flip this whole thing around. You can see it like on like camera right here, like it's pointing like right next to me. Yeah, like, I don't know, how is it not blocking me? Well, I guess. Yeah, you see it like it's just like this thing in front of my face. That's the UCS basically. This is out of the way. Oh, this thing is huge. We're going to be building right here. I was not expecting it to be this large. I've built UCS ships before. I built like a couple. I built 2 or 3 of these UCS ships. The TIE Interceptor, that was in 2024. In 2025 I built I slammed it against the wall. It's quite long. Well, barely fits in frame, but it does. Oh, hooray. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so 2024 TIE Interceptor, 2025 Jango Fett Starship, 2026 N-1 Starfighter, which is the program. You can see this thing. Wow. Yeah, I see why they're calling it Ultimate. I'll do a bag announcement and we'll see. Maybe we'll move on to bags 7 or not. I'm not sure yet. This is already a lot. Bag 6 builds the rear of the TIE Interceptor and also adds some assemblies in interesting places. For example, this one right here, which is upside down. You can barely see the studs. Also add this assembly right here with the funky colors. These tiles right here and mirrored on the other side. But most importantly, this whole rear part, all built in this bag, using some very interesting techniques, bars and stuff like that. And we also use the flexible tube on the underside. The way this gets attached is pretty interesting. Go to take a look at bag number 7. There is bag 7. Before we get to bag 6, you all know what's coming. Take it with me. Take it with me. Get your hands ready. Oh, look. Look there. 6, 7. 6, 7. 6, 7. 6, 7. Yeah, the kids, they crave 6, 7. That's what I was told. Doing quite a bit of building in bag 7. Should I do it? Because the thing is 7 and 8 are related. So if I do 7, I also want to do 8. I'm not sure 100% if I want to commit to that right now. Well, and for bag 7, actually, we can do just the build of the bag without relying too much on the rest of the starship. So I think I can handle it. This stuff around. Build bag 7 and come back to this starship. Maybe even 7 and 8, then come back to the starship. Depending on how time flows. we do 7 and 8, and we'll be halfway done with the build. Forget how long it took me to do bag. Tight Interceptor from 2024. How many days did that take? I also built that live, and I remember it took a few days, but I forget the exact number. Yeah. Mostly standard pieces here. There's this relatively new piece. This is yellow, only yellow piece in this bag. Oh, they grow so fast. Starting to feel a bit tired. Wonder if opening this bag was a good idea. We'll do what we can. And whatever remains will be done in the future building phase. Set this aside for now. Excuse me. It's not that this bag is too difficult to do, but I just feel so exhausted. I'd rather save my energy and do it like tomorrow. I don't think I'll do it off camera. Wait, let me just get some water. Wait, give me a few more minutes. What I might do is try to build most of bag 7. And then I'm not going to try to do bag 8. Bag 8 is a mirror of bag 7. I might do it off camera, offline. Or if I regain the energy right now, I'll do it, but I'm just not sure if I can. I have a busy day tomorrow, so I don't want to push my luck. Let's check the stats. Let's see. What is the status of our giveaway? Yeah, we're a little bit closer to our goal. But more work needs to be done. If you have any friends, family, who are interested in this type of content, please share with them. If you're in some Discord server and you feel like this would be valuable to the members of that Discord, please share with them. If you go to school somewhere, share this with your friends and classmates and stuff. Anything helps, really. I'm trying to power through this, but I feel like I need like a boost. So I think we'll just wrap up here. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done for the night. I'll move the brick separator in position. When I see this on the live stream, I'll basically end it. Tomorrow we're very likely going to pick up from the exact same spot. I might still do bag 8 offline, maybe. Just to save some time. I'm not committed to that yet. We shall see. Alright. You have 10-15 more seconds to write your final comments in the chat. Otherwise, I'll bid you farewell. Yeah, thanks for joining today. We built a few bags. We built bags 3, 4, 5, 6. We started 7, 6, 7. So we did some progress today. I was hoping to finish 7 and maybe 8. So we could arrive to the halfway point of the build, but that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Alright, bye everyone. Have a good one. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you in the next one.